Marion here. Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk today about a question I get a lot, which is how long will it take to fix this? Everyone wants to know how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? Man, I don't know. My answer is I don't know because it's not up to me. It's up to you. It's up to you. Physios can offer advice, coaches can offer advice. If the person hearing the advice doesn't take it, it's nothing's going to work. So I usually have a very simple answer. Like, I don't know. It's going to depend on how much you embody the learnings that I give you. An embodiment is when it goes from your head into your body. And that's different for everyone. People work at different paces, people train, people have more time to get dedicate to issues than others. And it also depends on the nature of the complex pain situation. Some people I see, they've actually got a physically pretty lined up body, they're pretty strong, but they've got this constant pain. And I can hear in their language it's a mental block. Once we free that, they're away. So people like that, how long will it take? It could be 30 seconds. They could reframe a belief pattern and understand the pain from a new perspective, and they can see it for what it is just feedback, and it takes away all their fear, and they're away. There's almost instant pain resolution because of the changed perception of what that sensation means. Then there's other people who their pain probably has a few mental blocks, mindset issues, and then they have years of embodied emotional suppression in their tissues. They might have two surgeries, two scars, they may have a few broken bones, they may have a history of trauma of any kind, that trauma is what we perceive as overwhelming in the moment. There may be many, many layers of that held in the tissues. So we have a mindset block, we have an emotional element, and then, because of those two things, the body has been warped, twisted towards the structure, and they've learned to move in a really weird way that's avoiding opening up old wounds, opening up old tissues. And so they have compensatory movement habits which need to be unraveled. Often I see when someone releases any one of those elements. Let's say they learn to move their pelvis in a new way. That movement pattern will resolve some of the emotional issues. They'll feel differently. There's an emotional release that goes on. And if they are okay to feel that, they feel safe enough to be with those feelings will move through, and the pelvic alignment will retain quite nicely. It'll stick, I call it. If the movement invites and stirs up some emotions and the person is resistant to feeling those emotions, then only a percentage will stick because the emotion is driving the movement. And so when you start to work with a body or a person, and because there's so many elements involved, the degree of improvement is often driven by how open that person's mind is to exploring all facets of their body. Are they open to exploring how they think and feel? And if they are, in my experience, they progress rapidly. If they're only interested in movement and the structure and the body and stretching something, getting it strong, understanding movement, great. they'll get an improvement. But in my experience, it's an improvement that is a bit short-lived because we haven't dealt with all the other stuff. And I would say sometimes when you start to move with quality, these things come. And if you are trained into how to be with your emotions and to lean into them rather than fight them, then that can be a private process that you work through at your own pace, and you'll go from strength to strength to strength. But circling back to the original question, how long will it take? I don't know. There's just too many variables that are all controlled by the individual who has the pain. The facilitator, the physio, the coach provides the tool. The person receiving those tools has to action them, embody them, receive them, be open to them. And so that's a lot that I can't control. And that's okay. I can only do my bit, and then it's up to the person to do their bit. And their bit's a lot. And I understand that their bit can be confusing, can be frustrating. And that's my job, I guess, is to understand it's a challenging process, and you need a facilitator, you need a coach, you need someone giving you that external guidance and feedback. But ultimately, it is your own journey, and people show up for it in different ways. And I feel really sad when I see people trying to muscle their way out of emotional issues. Or when I see people completely unaware that they have drivers in their mindset that are keeping them in these cycles, and they can't even notice the subconscious patterning or wiring that's going on because they don't know what they don't know. And that's like a hamster on a wheel. Working, working, working hard, trying everything, trying every therapist, trying everything, but never breaking through because the mind was the imprisonment, not the body. The body was reacting to the mental prison. And yeah, so like I say, back pain is complex. It's often chronic because it's so nuanced. There's so many variables. There's so much of our mental, physical, emotional movement patterns that ideally need to be released, explored, retrained if we're to build a bulletproof back. But I'm the first to maintain that that's possible, particularly when you go about it from a different lens. The traditional way of dealing with back pain is not doing that, which is why so many people are in it, which is why so many surgeries fail, which is why we now have so many myths about back pain. We don't need them. You can heal. You just need to go about it in a new way, with guidance, with love, with perspective change, with actual basic changes in how we understand bodies. Postural neurology is a very underrated science. It's basically, I never hear it spoken about in terms of back pain. I think it's one of the best. Fascial dynamics, we're learning more and more. That's becoming more popular. Neurosensory integration, understanding the role of feet, eyes, ears. It's not all about glutes and abdominals. It's not all about hip mobility. Those are factors, but they're the overplayed factors. So I try and shine a light on the other things that matter a lot, but don't get talked about. So yeah, that's my little pondering for today. If you're in back pain, I'm sure you resonate. I'm sure you've probably experienced a lot of what I just spoke about. Um, if you'd like some help with it, I'm available. Not available always one-on-one to coach you personally. I take applications for that because I know I'm right for some people, I'm not right for everybody. The courses that I've created are my attempt to put online in a digital format things for you to discover that may be your missing parts. There's a system, there's a sequence. We look at your mindset, we look at your emotions, and then we look at your movement habits. You can educate and teach yourself all the things that I think are the critical elements of getting you from where you are now to where you want to be. So just don't lose hope. Just know that there's some things you don't know, and just know that it's complicated. It's different for everybody. But how long it takes is ultimately up to you. And that's kind of cool. Your body is doing its very best in this moment to heal whatever's going on as best it can. But it's got limits. It's got things it keeps smashing into. It might be a deep-seated subconscious belief about your own worth, about your own ability to be loved. It might be, you know, an embedded trauma from when you were 7 years old that's got lodged somewhere. It might be an embedded trauma from an accident or a fall or a scar or a bad relationship. It might be a compensation in the weight bearing through your feet that you're loading one side more than the other because of all those things going on in the past. It's unique to you. And it could be three of those things, it could be two of those things, could be one of those things, could be 10 of those things. It's going to be what it's going to be. But if you start to pull out one bit and then the next bit and then the next bit, there should be steady improvement. And some parts, when you release them, have a big impact on your pain. Some parts have a little impact. But at the end of the day, as long as you're progressing, you're winning. And that's all most people want. They just want to feel some improvement in their system. They want to feel like there's progress, and progress is happiness. Progress reassures us that something we're doing is improving. So if you've come at your back pain from a purely physical point of view, muscles, manipulation, strength, stretch, that's physical. That's not bad, but if that's not getting you where you want to be, and if you suspect that maybe you've got some limited beliefs, or even if you don't suspect you have, it's worth exploring because none of us think we've got limiting beliefs, but we all have them. And you hear it in language from other people. It's like, oh, wow, they don't even realize they're thinking that way. I do that about myself. I don't realize my limiting beliefs. My life shows them to me. And that's the beauty of life. It will always mirror where you're not free. And that's why I kind of love the way life is structured. Because when we understand it, we have opportunity to improve it. But yeah, don't give up is the message of this channel. Don't give up, but do open your mind to how we as humans work and operate, and see your back pain as an invitation to get to know yourself on a whole new level. That's my advice, with love and compassion for where you're at. And yeah, keep watching videos, and let's hope that something I say may spark something you need to hear to help you move into your next level of healing. Ciao for now.